Hi, my name is Efva Attling. I'm a jewelry designer, but actually the most important thing for me is to connect to people. My grandmother and me, we had a really good connection. She was a self-made seamstress, and I could design my own clothing, which was fantastic. And so when I was 11, 10, 12, well, even older, I could design my garments and she'd make them for me. And that was a fantastic connection. When I was 11, we were in school and the boys, we swapped class with them. So the boys had to go into sewing class to learn how to sew, and we girls could do wood and metal. And that was really something that suited me perfect, because that was the temperament in banging and working with the metal. It suited me so much better, because I was, you know, I didn't have the patience to sit and do small things like this. But I also had my grandmother, she was the best. So, and that's actually when the love started, the love story with me and metal started. That was the first time I was working with metal, and I still have that bracelet. It's called the Swan, my mother named it. And it's still a really good fit. So after 9 years of school, I really hated school. I thought I was locked in and I wanted to conquer the world. I started to work as a silversmith pupil with one of the best silversmiths in Sweden, Bengt Liljedahl. When I was a silversmith pupil, I was only there actually for 6 months, but I was discovered as a model by Eileen Ford. And I think one thing you have to be, when you are doing the modeling business, you have to be so social. Because you're going to see a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of photographers, and it's actually that you connect with the photographer and say, wow, it's not a beautiful face, only a beautiful face, it's someone that I can work with, that can do what I say. And it's, you know, the photographer is like a producer, and I think that is, well, I was doing it for 12 years, so I mean, I really enjoyed it until when you get tired of it, it's like stops completely and you just feel like you're selling yourself. And when that happens, you should quit. And I did, and I started a band called the X Models. And I was fortunate to write a hit song called Two of Us, which was a big hit in Sweden. I even have a gold record. And I think that was also very, very important, because it's a man's world. The rock and roll world is a man's world. And as I did write my song myself, I was counted for. So. My father was a part-time musician, a jazz musician, and music is what connected our family. Music and humor. And I think my parents weren't really going to have that long relationship if they didn't have humor and the music. So music has really been important to me. And when I was writing songs, after a gig, someone come up to me and say, oh, you can really express what I cannot express myself. And that's what music does. And music is really a big connection. For me, it's really, really important. I've always been around musicians because that's my language. And when I started to do jewelry again, it took me 27 years since the first time. I wanted to write words, but I mean the lyrics are now this small. I think lyrics can really move people. I think that is, and as an artist, that is the goal, to touch other people. So when I started to make the jewelry, I want people to get your mind working, and maybe that you can discuss it with another person, which means it's conversation pieces. As an example, I have this piece. It's a rock crystal, but I wrote some words on the silver, so you can see it inside, and it says, define normal. I mean, you can answer that? No? No, you can't. I mean, that's how you start a conversation. Define normal. One of the first pieces I made was 2 dog tags. It said Homo sapiens. I divided the word. That for me, that means we're all equal. And Madonna was one of the first ones to pick it up. She used it on a commercial and also private. That was, of course, for me to know that, okay, I'm on the right track here. But one of the first really difficult rings I made is called human, which means to be respected and to respect. And another favorite one is amor fati, which means the love for our destiny. Because I believe we have one life, and it's up to you to make the best out of it. You can't blame anyone else. I am a designer, but I'm not a jewelry designer. I'm a designer. I do my jewelry, of course, with the modern things and the wedding line and everything. And then I was asked to do crystal glass for Orifors, which was a huge hit. I put just a little silver ring around the stem and put some words on it. Amor vincit omnia, love conquers all, which I know. And then I also do eyewear for Scandinavian eyewear. And people ask me sometimes, can you do this, can you do that? But if I don't feel like it, I can't do it, because then I can't get the inspiration of doing something that I would like. But the Swedish king, I've done a prize for him, a medal, and I've done a lot of smaller things, but little weird things, but it's always the challenge to challenge my mind. I have a really great challenge. I'm going to open a store in New York. I mean, that's one of the most difficult places. It can either go bad or really, really good. And I think I'm such an energetic person, and New York gives me so much energy as well. So this is, that's my destiny. I had to be in New York. I had to do this. I don't have a special goal. I never really had that. I seize the day. I'm really good at that, actually. So many people say, did you remember that? Or next time I'm going to do that. I'm here. And I think that is, it's really hard with today's on the mobile, on this, and television, and interactive, space and everything. So that is what I do. I seize the day. Carpe diem. The driving force in my design is to challenge my mind, but also to get connected with other people. I think that is the greatest. I'm in love with a human being.